Awesome. Keep it up.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's SLR, we're here, it's finally arrived, the big one, Tier 1 Championship Battle has gone to the wire, 1 point in it. But before we get to the action, I want to introduce Icewind as my fellow commentator.
Oh, good evening everybody, and good evening Chief. So, yeah, good to be back at the commentary booth again.
Yeah, shame we're not seeing you on track today, but I think this is probably a better vantage point for the race, as there's a lot of guys in chat as well hyping up this race. I know Tipsy Bob, who's been commentating with me all season long, couldn't join us today in the commentator's booth, but we've got Icewind who will fill his boots nicely. And yeah, I mean, what is there to say? There's 1 point in it. We've got Danny leading the championship and McKender 1 point behind. Unbelievable. Yep. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. You can see on the on-screen graphic there as well. The Joel is kindly done for us with the image of the F2 title in the background. For those who
the F2 Tier 1 F2 trophy. So
and it's a woman. Guess, it's a woman.
Yeah,
driver,
I mean, it's, yeah, some sort of wokeness going on there, but I'm sure whoever wins that trophy is going to be happy at the end of the day, so, yeah.
Yeah, and it all comes down to this race, so we will head down to the track very soon. I just want to talk about the track a little bit, though. Suzuka, we have had 2 races here already. Hello, Devs F1 League in chat. Yeah, we've had 2 races here already, so, yeah, we know what to expect. Yesterday was wet. Tier 3 completely dry as far as I can remember. And just looking at this qualifying session that we're about to head into, it looks dry for quali at least. We have 13 drivers on track, and yeah, let's get to it then. We've got drivers going out on track. I think Fox is the first guy out there. Fox was driving yesterday actually, so he should be well up to speed for this one.
Yeah, and Suzuka, I think a driver's track, I would say, and a big driver favorite for many people. I think there are only really a handful of people, and if you don't understand anything about racing, I'm sure you'll like this track because there's a lot of challenging fast corners. You gotta have a good setup for the track and stuff. So yeah, couldn't ask for a better finale, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think F1 it did run Japan as a final track some seasons, I think.
Yep.
So it is
correct, but
it's a good send off for this season. Yeah, and it's been 11 rounds of pretty. I mean, me and Bob have been calling the action all season long, and I tell you what, there's been some cracker races. We've had various racers throughout. Some of the guys who have won are not here, unfortunately. So shout out to Desi, who unfortunately couldn't make it today in school line. To name a few, but we do have Justin, we have Danny Koo, McKender's won a race, Tanari won the first race of the season, and yeah, we've also Speedy, who's a former champion in Tier 1 and was very impressive in his day.
Yeah, correct, and yeah, Fox on his first flying lap here. Didn't really see this first sector split, but anyway, what I was gonna say is that a lot of the Finns, at least I think all of the Finns who are driving today, this is probably their favorite track of the calendar. Of course, some good memories here from the old days of Mika Häkkinen winning 2 titles here. I think most of these guys are a little bit too young to remember that. Maybe McKender does, but most of them were probably not born before born when that happened. But anyway, Fox on his way, and yeah, I don't know. Could we possibly see a 25 for pole here from Tina or somebody? But we'll see what Fox can do. So probably like a 26 is a good fast lap. Fox hits a 27.2 for the first time on the board.
Yeah, not a bad lap from him. But yeah, you mentioned Tino there as well. He's someone that we cannot leave out. I mean, he's not going to win the championship today, but he can certainly play his part in who does win the championship. So we will keep an eye on that as well. Justin going top 26, so we're into the 26s already. And you reckon that there's a chance of a 25 maybe if someone hooks it up?
We'll see what Dino pulls out of the bag, but I think there's definitely a chance for that. Dino's favorite track, as he said in chat already as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be expecting a good lap from him. I think he did a 25 in LOR if I remember correctly. So yeah, we'll see. So pole definitely at least a low 26. Makender sets a 26.7 and goes to the top of the board, but I think also Makender has gone about half a second faster than that in LOR. So yeah, I did a little bit of homework with those qualifying times. So I'm expecting at least a low 26, possibly a 25 from Dino if he can pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, and I'm looking on board here with Danny Co. He's just come out of the hairpin, heading down to Spoon Corner. He's on mediums, but he's not on a lap actually. Looking at his ERS, might be just doing a bit of a cider lap, maybe going for another run or just testing out those mediums.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised they're going out on those mediums because you're potentially wearing out some race sets that you could use in a safety car situation, but maybe they know what they're doing. But yeah, Danny definitely not on a hot lap because he should have been on the line already. And oh my word, that looked a little dangerous there for Danny.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to peel into the pits here. It looks like he is indeed. Yep. So yeah, interesting. Maybe pushed a little bit and we didn't catch it initially in Sector 1. He might have invalidated or Sector 2. But he has not put a time on the board. Maybe it's you know, he just wants to get a bit of delta on the board so he can have something to race against when he does go out on those softs.
Yeah, one guy I'm expecting a good time out of today is Tunari, who's actually a 27.2 on those mediums for a banker. That's quite fast, but I've seen him do a low 26 in practice earlier today. Speedy across the line, but it's an invalid lap for him.
Ryad is on a lap. I was going to say he's P6 at the minute, but he doesn't have a time on the board. There's only 5 times on the board, so Ryad making his way down to the hairpin. Turns in a bit early for that, but I mean, you can take various lines through there, and then straight down to Spoon. It's a double left-hander, and a very technical corner. Very satisfying when you get it right. Right, a bit of curb, also a bit of curb on the exit. And yeah, you just want to get the power down as soon as possible. A lot of drivers keep to the left here for the mid part of this straight and swing out to the right, but Ryad's happy enough just to keep it in the middle of the road. Flat out through 130R, not quite as dangerous as previous iterations of the game, but through the chicane we go, cutting both corners, both apexes. Oh, and he gets loose on the exit there. Maybe took a bit of too much of curb. It's 28.1 from him. And that's good enough for P6, so he doesn't move position as such. But yeah, we're expecting more times to come in. And Speedy's still out on these softs, but it looks like he's not on a lap.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's maybe tried to do another lap on those tires, but I think he's gonna pit now and get a fresh set of boots from the pit lane. Other guy who is on a lap is Tugay, who won yesterday actually in Tier 2, right? So, yep. But I think he's quite a bit down on this lap, so I think he's potentially messed up a little bit in the Sector 1 at least. Let's see what he can do. Says purple for Sector 2, but I don't know if that's actually correct or not. But he's about to cross the line, so we'll see what he can do. Not quite at the front of the times, but 5th for him, 27.6.
Yeah, and he I was commentating yesterday's race. He was pretty much like in the mid pack. Like we didn't see much of him. But then you know we had a bunch of safety cars, bit of rain at the end of the race, and yeah, he just emerged from the smoke victorious by about over 5 seconds. So he's definitely something to watch out for today.
Yeah, and tends to be one of those guys who has sort of relatively better race pace than quali pace. So we'll see, and he's done pretty well this season as Makender's teammate, and I think they've already won the championship, which we kind of failed to call last week, by the way, but I think they've secured the team championship at Mercedes.
Yeah, I think that's right. And look at a copy now, copy on a lap. I've got a bunch of guys on their out laps as well. They're coming. These times they're going to come in thick and fast. So Ice, we need to be on our toes here.
No.
I'll stick with copy for now though. He is making his way through 130R down the final chicane. And let's see what copy can do on this lap. Seems the back end just wants to get looser as you come out of that final chicane, but he puts a 28.3 on the board, so not the fastest lap from him, but it'll do for now, I reckon.
Yep. Let's ride on board with Dunari and see what he can do now on the soft tires. About to set on his first lap, so he set at 27.2 on mediums, which is very, very competitive, and we'll see what he can do on the soft. So already seen a low 26 from him. Let's see what he can do. Turn 1, full throttle, and then 2 is immediately ahead of you. And after that, you just want to get a good exit toward the S's. No brakes until Degner 1, I think. So it's just shifting the throttle, getting through the apexes, and the Tunari is on his way through Sector 1. Let's see what the Sector 1 split looks like. Degner 1 is immediately ahead of you, and he's 3/10 up, so looking good for Tunari. Degner 2 runs maybe a little bit wide on the entry, but pretty good run through there, and onward to the hairpin. Takes a pretty tight line there. You're gonna take a little bit of wider line as well, like they do in real life, as you already mentioned earlier today. Then 200R easy flat out towards Spoon. Double left-hander, catches the apex nicely on turn 1. Then a little bit of a snap of oversteer on the curb on the outside, but let's see what the Sector 2 split looks like. 130R ahead is easily flat out nowadays. 6/10 up, Justin improves to a 26.3, but let's see if Tunari can threaten that. Here you can take a lot of curb, but the most important thing is to not to run deep. Tunari does it relatively well, and let's see what he can do. 26.4 goes P2, but not quite as fast as Justin, who set a very good time.
Yeah, that was very impressive, both from Tunari and yourself on that hot lap commentary. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Tunari, though, cutting that final chicane, that's how you do it as well. That, like you were saying, the first part of it, you really need to cut the corner. As Danny Co does go and split Justin and Tunari's P2 with that lap, 26.4.
Yep. Ino is flying, though. He's 2/10 up on Justin in Sector 1. And I think another 10th up in Sector 2, so let's see what Tino can do here. Cross the curbs into the final corner and out of the final corner, and then just a sprint to the line. DRS open for a few meters, and it's a 26.0 from Tino, so that's more like it.
Yeah, that's huge. 3/10s in Tier 1. That is huge. But we're going to see everybody pretty much have a chance of a final run.
And yeah, I think Justin is in the position that he kind of needs to be in, but as I think it said in the championship graphic, that if Justin wants to win this championship, he has to win this race. There is no other option for him, basically.
Yeah.
And as for Danny and Makender, whichever of them finishes first, if they are in the points, well, at least almost like that, that guy will win the championship. If they're in the minor points, I think we'll have to look at it in more detail later on, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think realistically, Justin's hoping Danny and Makender have it coming together and finish low down, if not DNF. It's a motor race, so anything can happen, and yeah, like I say, Tino is definitely going to play a part in this. I mean, he's set pole by quite a margin there. I'm not trying to allude to any kind of shenanigans, but
I did try to say that to everybody involved. Let's say if there's some sort of unofficial teammates or whatever you want to call them, like, just do your own race. Don't get involved in the championship fight. Let's hope that happens.
Yeah, I have full faith. Yeah, Tino's in chat. He says I'm finished, so he's one and done. That's how you do it.
I think he's about a half a tenth slower than he was in LOR, so let's see that 25 Tino, so no excuses, please.
There you are, you've got your orders. Ego goes on a lap, but it is invalidated, unfortunately, for him.
Just checking here, so yeah, I think Tino has just about the fastest sector for every sector. I'm just checking if somebody would have been faster in some sector, but it doesn't look like it.
Tilda retiring in the pits, decides not to set a time, so he's opting to do the last to first. You often see this in the final race, but with so much to play for, I don't think anyone's willing to risk that today.
Yeah. And we'll see. It's like, yes, Dino is fast, but is he fast enough to run away at the front of the race? I guess we'll see. But it is possible here, but it's not easy.
Yeah, we'll kind of talk about tire strategies as well, because I mean, I'm just thinking about safety cars, and you know, we might well get one or two of them in this race. Usually tier 1 you get less than the other ones, but yeah, with so much on the line, I could see there being a safety car or two in this one. And
I mean, Joel is not on track today.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Actually, yeah, there might not be safety cars, actually. Now you mention it. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure we'll see a few of them now that we said it like that, but yeah. Fox, I think is about the only guy on a lap, maybe Tuge as well behind him, just starting one. Fox slightly up in sector 1, let's see what he can do into sector 2. 2/10 up, so looking good for him.
Yeah, they should put him into P6 unless he's able to find a bunch more time in this last sector. I mean, the last sector's pretty much that chicane, and that's it, pretty much. So you'd think there's not going to be much time there, but yeah, he improves by 2/10 up to P6. Not bad from him.
Not too bad.
That'll be his last run. And everybody else, yeah, who's on an outlap, this is the last run, guys. This is going to be it. And Tino is on an outlap. He's heard your message loud and clear, guys. He's going for that 25.
Tuge, I think, has messed up his lap, so no improvement from him on this lap. I don't know if he's going to try to do another one. He definitely cannot pit again. So if he wants to try, he's going to have to go on that same set of tires, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I see him riding the brake.
Only
a little
8
bit.
for him.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for another one. He's setting up for another one, but Speedy as well.
And he's, yeah, as you say, Speedy, he's around.
Oh dear.
Sector 1.
Yeah, he's not got a time on the board, which is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I just messed up the entry into Dunlop a little bit too wide and touched the grass on his rear wheel, and yeah, off you go.
Yeah, so Tuge starts his second run on these older tires, second lap on these tires. But we will be watching out. We've got Tino out there, Justin, Danny, Kutinari, McKender, all vying for that top spot. I think Tino's time's going to be hard to beat, and he may well improve.
Justin might still. Like, I'm looking at his sector times. He's 2.5 tenths off in sector 1. So if he can do something there, maybe he can threaten Tino. We'll see. Tuge going well, 6 tenths up.
Yep, Tino starts his lap in the background there, but I'm watching McKender here at the moment go for sector 1. See if we can get a sector 1 time before we switch to another driver. Yeah, and these guys are on it. He is slightly up, just over half a tenth.
That's a good sector 1. If you go under 31, that's very good. So let's see what McKender can do for the rest of the lap. Speedy sets a 1:41.0.
Okay.
Not quite what I was looking for, I guess, but yeah. Tuge 9 tenths up, so could he possibly threaten his teammate McKender here, even if he can keep this together in the final sector? So see what he can do, maybe possibly ahead of Fox at least. Cross the line for Tuge, and yes, he does indeed go 6th.
Yeah, that'll be good for the Mercedes guys. Be able to work together a little bit if they're a bit closer. And McKender, his teammate, is making his way for the final chicane. Cuts that first part and second part on the exit. Throttle down across the line. He improves to P4.
Yep, but Tunari is flying on the background. 3.5 tenths up for Tunari, so what can he do to upset this championship battle here? Because Tunari is really going well on this lap. Tino does set that 25 on the board, so 25.9. Good job from Tino, but could his teammate Tunari actually go P2 here? And he does, word. 26. 1, so he pulls that out of the bag as he showed in practice earlier this week. Wow, that's Red Bull 1-2 because Danny has invalidated, and I don't think there's anybody left. Justin is not on a lap either, so
yeah, he's back out. Eagle Goose.
Wow.
Is Eagle Goose on a lap? No, he is not. Yeah, that's it. Tino and Tanari, Red Bull 1-2, and that's interesting. Yeah.
And I was expecting that from Tanari. I seen it earlier in the week, but he was kind of like playing down his chances as he tends to do. But 26-1, very very good from Tanari. And I mean, of course, Tino. But were we really surprised about that? I don't know. But Tanari, I think. Very good performance.
Yeah, well played from Tanari. I mean, he didn't have the best of race yesterday. He did DNF, coming out of Spoon, but did have great pace yesterday. So there we have it, our standings. Tino, pole position. Tanari, his teammate, puts it in P2 in the dying moments. Justin wasn't able to better his time on his last run there, as the same with Danny. So P3, P4 for them. And McKenna, interestingly, behind Danico. He will start behind. But he does have his teammate behind him, so it took a McKenna P5, P6 for those guys. Fox P7, Noah P8, Eagle Ghost got himself up to P9, and Ryad rounds out the top 10. And this is it. This is going to be interesting strat-wise. What do you reckon these guys are going to go for, Ice?
It is a good question, because I think pretty much every strategy works here. It looks to be a little overcast maybe, but
yeah.
So I think there's a threat of rain. I haven't heard anything about weather, but I guess we're about to find out. It's a good question, because I talked to Boosted Mess, who had pretty good pace this week, right?
Yeah.
And he was saying that the hards were a very good tire. As much as I love this track, it's kind of weird, but I haven't really raced on this track in this game, so I honestly don't know. I should have asked the Finnish guys in advance what's the strategy. What's the word? Preferred strategy, whatever. Anyway, that's what I was trying to say.
It's so hard to call, because you've always got that in the back of your mind. The safety car, it could come out at any moment. And you can't plan for that, so it's like you're kind of rolling the dice. There's a certain element of luck involved in this. So yeah, we might have some guys starting on the softs, but other guys might opt to start on a harder tire compound. But we're about to find out who is going to go for what here. I don't know what I would choose myself, but I know that soft tires will give you a little bit of an edge whenever it comes to the race start. That extra grip will get you off the line faster usually.
I'm stuck in some kind of menus that I can't go back from this, so I can't see anything what everybody is on. I don't know what's up with this. Maybe hopefully this will fix itself after after the start, because I cannot go back from the menu.
Well, here we go. This is a very interesting mix-up of strat calls here. Tino is on softs. Tanari has opted for hard, so they've decided to go for different strats in the Red Bull side. But listen to this. Justin is on hard. Danico is went softs. McKenna in P5 and P6. Tugay have went hards. And then we've got Fox on mediums, Noah on softs, and the rest of the guys opting for mediums or hards. So yeah, that's interesting. We're definitely expecting these soft guys to be very, very pacey initially. So
yeah, that tells me that Danny wants to drive this strategy. He is the championship leader, right? So he wants to be in the driver's seat and making those calls in front. So McKenna doesn't get the chance to do that. So I think that's what Danny is going for. Aggressive start, and possibly, overtake these two guys ahead of him and maybe go after Dino, but we'll see in a few moments, I guess. You might have to call the start, because I cannot get out of this menu.
Oh no, please no.
I think you will have to, unless it fixes itself. We'll see what happens, but I can't get out of the race director menu for some reason.
Codemasters. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank God I'm not streaming.
Yeah, hello to Boosted, who joins us in chat for the big one. I'm glad you were able to make it in time. Perfect timing as we're about to get underway for the grand finale in Tier 1. Championships on the line. Danny Coe and McKenna are the two favourites. Justin has his oar in, but it's going to be a big ask. He's going to need to finish in P1 and hope that Danny and McKenna finish low down in the points or DNF today. So Yep, lots of variables at play here, and the weather in the background, like you said, it does look kind of gloomy. So there is that threat of rain as well.
I haven't got any info, even though I tried asking for it. But so I guess we're in the dark here regarding the weather.
Bob saying Chief doesn't do starts, don't break him ice.
Yeah, but it's a little difficult to call it when I don't see what's happening behind this menu. So
Yeah.
hopefully this will fix itself. Let's see what happens. So I will. You'll have to take over on a second's notice if it doesn't go away. So I think everybody is just about on the grid, right?
Yep. Lights are
I
about to
can't
go
see
up.
anything still.
Okay, lights are up. Yep. We're about to go ice, and we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. The grand finale is about to get underway, and Tino is off. And it looks like he got a good start. Quite aggressive as well. He was pointed into the right. Showed that he was looking to defend that lead, as Justin is alongside Tenari, trying to go around the outside, and Danny Co as well, trying to squeeze around the inside. He does. He gets the move done on Justin. So Justin now down to P4. It looks like everybody getting off to a decent start. Nobody has gone off just yet. And yeah, everybody's got off safely here. But let's have a look at Danny Co has had an epic start. P3 already, and this is exactly what he needs to do. Oh my word, looked like he was going to go for a move into the second Degner, which is probably a first, but decides to hold back for now. But yeah, these soft tires, he really wants to use the pace advantage of these soft tires right now in these opening laps.
Yeah, and looking like he's gonna make a move on Tonari, I think, quite early. I'm having to relog here, Chief, so I'll be back in just a few seconds.
Yep, that's grand, yep.
Yep, so joining session.
Yeah, so Danny Co, yeah, I mean, Tino is already 1.3 up the road, so yeah, Danny Co knows he needs to get a move on here, and he's lining up Tenari for a move here. He's going to have to do it without DRS. He does use a bit of ERS to try to pull alongside a little bit closer, and that's put Tenari under pressure. Tenari going a bit deep into the first part of that chicane, and that might compromise his run. It does indeed. It looks like, yep, Danny Co's going to get this moved on. He's going to go down the inside, and that's preferred line for turns 1 and 2. And he's not quite alongside, well, he is significantly alongside, but he's not quite fully alongside. But he used that extra grip into turn 1 and on the exit of turn 2 to get himself up to P2, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Danny is ticking all the right boxes here, and now has Tino in his sights.
Yeah, now he has to somehow break this toe from these guys, and let's see what if he can actually do that. I'm back, by the way, so so at least that's done. My result tower is a little bit bugged because I don't think Noah is leading this race, so I think Tino and Danny are the front two.
Yeah, Noah is currently P8 on the softs as well, but yeah, it looks like we're going to DRS train from P1 to P13, but Tino has dropped Danny Co for now, but Danny Co now he's got himself up into P2. Hopefully he'll match Tino's pace, if not try to draw him in a little bit, but it's a big ask. I mean, we saw Tino's pace in quali, but yeah, race pace is a different matter.
Yeah, I think Tino might just disappear into the distance here if he chooses to do so, and I would sort of expecting him to maybe do that on this track. He wants to show all his cards here. And Tonari doing well to hang on with Danny here for now.
Yeah, I think that's key, isn't it? Really, the longer he can hold on, the better it's going to be in the long run, as Tino sets the fastest lap. Danny Co actually takes it, so he is pushing hard, and he has actually closed up by about 2/10, I think, on that last lap. Maybe with the use of ERS there a little bit, trying to draw him in. I mean, if he can get DRS on Tino, that's going to be huge, but it is a big ask. It is only 3/10, but we are talking about Tino.
Yep. Was on board with Tonari there. He was a little twitchy through the essay, so I think he's running a really oversteery setup, but seems to be doing quite well for him anyway, because he's caught up to Danny, right up to Danny actually on the toward the end of the essays again. Yeah,
and I'm looking at Noah as well, and he's another guy on these softs. He's currently P8. He is riding quite close behind Fox, but yeah, it's kind of tricky to pass here unless you set someone up in the start-finish straight. There is that opportunity on the back straight as well without the use of DRS, but you do get a lot of slipstream down there, and you can catch people off guard, especially after 130R as well. You can kind of dip into the ERS a little bit and sneak a move on the inside, but Noah for now, P8, and Eagle goes behind, is getting dropped as well, so DRS range is... oh, he's got back over in DRS range for now, but yeah. I think, yeah, looking at Noah, he really wants to draw these harder tire compound runners in, and he's actually dropping out of DRS range here intermittently.
Doesn't seem to be too easy for him right now. Let's see if the intervals actually would fix themselves for me, because it's showing that he's 1 minute and 31 seconds behind Fox, which I guess is not quite true, but yeah. Oh, and some fighting in the background. Speedy makes a move on Eagle, goes, and then there's Rihad into the wall, and could that be the first safety car? Of course it is. Oh my word. Wow.
Wow.
That escalated quickly.
And it did. It would 0 to 90 in record time. I actually thought it was Speedy went in the wall there, but yeah, Rihad just got collected, didn't they? And they had pretty much a passenger.
Yeah, Rihad just made a mistake, I think, on the exit of 2. Just put a tire on the grass and yeah, into the wall. And we've got our first safety car. Not really sure what this is gonna do. I think the soft runners might want to get off those softs, but let's see. It's very early on.
Yeah, a similar thing happened yesterday, and the soft runners didn't in yesterday's race opt to pit, which was interesting at the time. But there was a second safety car shortly after, and most of them did pit on that one. But yeah, we'll see. Tino, I mean, I don't know. Like Danny's probably thinking, I'll do what Tino does. I would imagine, but we'll see. We'll see. Tino is approaching the point of having to make that decision.
I'm almost expecting Danny really to stay on track. I don't think he wants to fall to the back of the field and take that risk of ending up in trouble. But he does pit, so of course he wants to do the opposite.
Oh, Tenari's in the pits as well?
Everybody pits, basically.
Oh my word. Okay, I did not expect that. I guess I know fresh tires over slightly worn tires is a huge advantage, but yeah, I did not expect that, because these guys going on the mediums.
And Eagle Ghost didn't pit. But this is gonna be this is gonna be a little bit crazy at the restart, I think. But yeah, everybody else pits, which is a bit of a surprise to me. So Danny goes from softs to hards, and I think most of the hard runners went to medium. So everybody basically has, well, everybody except the front 2 have fulfilled their tire rule at least.
Okay, and I want to ask guys, Tino on mediums, Danny on hards, so what's that about? I mean, you'd imagine medium guys are not going to get to the end, the hards have more of a chance, but...
I think it's a bit of a tall order even on the hards on this track, but yes, we'll find out. I think Tino is just thinking maybe medium to the end from here. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and there's always the chance of another safety car. I just want to get to chat though. We've been kind of neglecting chat. Boosted Mess is typing hard with his thumb apparently. He said he brought up the Monaco boat trip. I don't know if you're aware of that.
My boat definitely big enough for that trip. But
he wants a ticket on that boat, man.
Yeah, I think you'll find some bigger. You'll have to find a bigger boat, as they say.
And Tipsy Bob is telling us he's in the hotel bed with Eddie, his dog, farting beside him.
Why is Tipsy in a hotel anyway? Like, I'm not really sure. Why is he in France anyway?
Oh, it's
what is he doing there?
It's a long story, but
okay. But we have time now, so let's get into it. There's nothing happening for the next lap at least.
Yeah, I think he's went over with his partner. Just to tie up a few loose ends, I believe. But he doesn't fly, so he travels via boat, funnily enough. So the journey is quite considerably lengthened. But it does sound like an epic road trip. I have to bring me one time, Bob.
It's dissolving my lungs, like the being in France or the dog, but maybe both.
Yep. So there
anyway,
we go.
So I think Speedy and Eagle Ghost are gonna be toast at the restart, to be honest, with those tires, because they're about, if they're not already hit at 20%, which which is basically the drop-off zone for tires in this game, and then you lose at least a second of lap time after that. And then you have Tino, Danny, Justin, Makender, Tunari behind you, so it's not exactly an easy situation for those guys. Tunari, by the way, lost a couple of positions because of that double stuck in the pit lane with his teammate, so a little unfortunate for him. Same with Tuga.
I think I'm just thinking, another factor to consider. You know, obviously the weather looks a wee bit overcast today. The guys obviously have a bit more information than we do. I mean, some of these tire choices, I'm thinking, are these guys, and the fact that they were so ready to pit there, are they thinking this is the best strat for rain later in the race?
Could be, but I don't know. I still haven't heard anything about rain. So if there is a crew chief or somebody in chat, please give us a little bit of a hint if there's rain forecast. But yeah, I don't think you can really make too many conclusions about what people pitted here, because yeah, let's see. Could be.
Yeah.
But I think this is just strategy to get to the end of the race.
Lepson and Eagle didn't look.
Okay.
Oh, Lepson was checking. Yeah, no Eagle stream, so Lepson's on the case. He'll find out for us. Safety car is in this lap. So Speedy, a previous Tier 1 champion, leading the way as the safety car is making its way for the final chicane, and then will peel into the pits. And if you're Speedy and the Eagle Ghost, I wonder, what are you thinking? Because you know there's a huge... Oh my god, Tino went into the back of Eagle. Oh my word.
Hope they didn't get damaged there, but Speedy does pick it up now and goes, and Tino, I think, is right alongside Eagle Ghost immediately, and I think he's gonna try to dive down the inside here on those fresher tires. Eagle Ghost doesn't really want to give this up, but I think he'll have to do it at the end of turn 2, so Tino is through, and then Danny on the outside also through, and I think this is gonna be the trend for Eagle Ghost now for the next few corners.
Yeah, and he's getting overtaken by Justin here. You can just see the superior grip, even just a few more laps. Younger tires, you can see the massive difference as he's getting overtaken now by Makender. So he's dropping down the order, but Tino's still in P1. Oh, Speedy still in P1, but as I said that, makes a mistake, drops down to P3. Tino is now P1. Danico is now P2, and crucially, they have Speedy between them and Justin, so this might be a good thing for Danico and Tino.
Yeah, the Eagle Ghost is basically a moving slalom post for these guys. Tudari also through there, so yeah, big trouble for those who stayed out.
Yeah, and look at Justin. He's right on the back of Speedy right now, so it looks like he's going to get this moved on. He's going to go on the outside, but it's 130R. It's a bit tricky, too wide, but it is possible, and let's see if they can manage it. Justin going off track a little bit, and there's someone in the background going off track as well. Looks like Fox. Ooh, and is something happening back there with Fox and Eagle?
Eagle Ghost went a little bit wide there, and I think Speedy's still ahead of Justin somehow. So what's happening up front?
Yeah, they're side by side going into turn 1 here, and Justin's just got ahead. And it looks like McKenna's going to go down the inside as well. So yeah, Speedy down to P5. And is he going to fight back? No, he does not. He feeds in behind, and Tenari is the next driver, who is unfortunately stuck behind Speedy for the S's.
Crucially, I think everybody's still in DRS who is in this championship fight, so nobody managed to pull away for now. At least Justin is right on the cusp of DRS from Danny, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, even though Speedy's dropping down the order, I mean, it's such a pleasure to see him on track today. Always enjoyed watching Speedy race. And he was on top for, like, I mean, when he practices, he's pretty much unbeatable. I would love to see him come back and try hard and see if he can bring back some of those magical performances he had in the past. But for now, it's Tino. He's broken the DRS already, 1.1. And Danny Cook's probably going to opt to use a little bit of ERS here, I'd imagine, just to try to rein that in. But we don't have DRS. I think it's next lap it'll be activated.
Yeah, I think so. You know, well, not quite far enough for the DRS gap. Well, it's right about there for Danny. Let's see what I can do. Tino sets the fastest lap of the race, 29.4. And the top 5 for now are within DRS range.
Yeah, and Speedy at the back there getting overtaken again on the start-finish straight by 2K. Also got overtaken by Fox on that last lap. So yeah, it looked like staying out was not a good option for him when you, with hindsight taken into account. But yeah, Danico is teeteringly close to this DRS range. He did get it under 1 second by the start finish, but Tino is just so rapid through sector 1 and 2, it seems.
Yeah, that's where he had that advantage in qualifying as well when I looked at it. So let's see what he can do on this lap. I think the other interesting thing is what happens with the tires now, because it looks like the hards are really good, as Boosted Meth actually said. So maybe that's true. So Danny might not be in such a bad position on those hards. I don't know. His options are open to the end of the race, I think, from here.
Yeah, but he is in a tricky spot in this phase of the race because he does have these medium runners who'll have a bit of a pace advantage over him. But the longer the race goes, yeah, the more it favors him. And the fact that he doesn't have DRS as well, that is, yeah, that might play a key factor here. But for now, he's safe. He's 0.8 ahead. You really need to be under like 0.5, 0.4 coming out of that final chicane to have a hope of getting the move done. So Danico is safe for now, but yeah, he's dropping back a little bit more each lap from Tino as 2K gets past Fox on the start finish rate. 2K up to P6.
Do something about that gap to Tunari. I don't know, 1.7 seconds. I think that might be a little bit of a tall order without the toe and DRS. But yeah, Justin closing up a bit on Danny now in the sector 1. So I think Danny is maybe struggling in sector 1 the most if you look at the sector times here in Race Director. So I don't know. Could he be running a little bit less wing maybe than the rest of the guys?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be crucial in sector 2 here to see how close Justin can get onto the back of Danico. 0.5 for now, and they are using a bit of ERS. Both of them are around 50%. Justin just slightly under, and Tino as well up ahead. I noticed he was using a bit of ERS as well, a bit more than usual.
2.2 seconds, so he's completely checked out of this battle for now. Justin is a bit closer this time around to Danny, so let's see what happens on the main straight. Justin, just as a reminder, he needs to win this race to have a chance at that championship. And then aside that, Danny and McKender have to somehow fall away much further away than they are at the moment.
Yeah, Justin was able to get pretty close into the back of Danico there with the DRS. Choose not to use any ERS, so he's obviously choosing to save that for a later attack. But yeah, like you say, Danico just has to finish ahead of McKender really to win this championship, and I would hate to be in his position right now. I mean, not that I would ever be in a position to win Tier 1, but yeah, the pressure.
Oh, but you're a champion anyway, like from, doesn't really matter what tier it is, but I remember because I was there as a crew chief, so.
Yeah, I do remember the pressure. It did get to me, I have to admit. It is quite immense to carry that weight around, so there'll be a few relief drivers after this race, but yeah, we're in the thick of it. We're not even at the halfway point, and this is nail-biting stuff.
Yeah, and Uge in P6 actually doing relatively well, so he's hasn't really dropped from, but he's also basically completely out of battery, so not an easy place for him either. Justin once again getting close to Danny here on the back straight.
Yeah, I've got to move for
possibly see a move here.
Okay.
Yep. I saw Noah on copy, I guess. So Justin, I think, is a little bit too far back to make a move here. He's not using any battery, so we're not gonna see a move on this lap.
Oh, he does use a little bit towards the end of the straight there. That was interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if that was some kind of a misclick or something, because it's a little bit strange, but yeah. He was not close enough.
Yeah, but we'll keep an eye on that battle between Copy and Noah as well. Those guys are running pretty close together. Noah was able to get that position on the back straight, but Copy is hanging in there. And we have a yellow flag. Oh, there's a Red Bull off. It's Tenari.
No, and he drops it from such a good
Oh no,
good
that's
position, and he's down to P10. And those tires are not going to be happy after that spin at Dunlop corner.
yeah, easy done. We dip the tire
Yeah.
on the onto the curb or even on the grass. That's what will happen. You'll go off, and thankfully he's got his front wing intact, so I can't see any visible damage on the car, but still in the race. But P10, not good from him.
Yep. Tino still has at least slightly checked out at the front, but then we have the championship trio, Danny, Justin, and Mackinder for P2, 3, and 4. So it's still wide open between Danny and Mackinder at least. Justin will need something really special here to be to really be in this battle, but he's there, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, and he's got DRS open, and is he? Yeah, he's too far back. He is going to catch him right at the apex here, but yeah, it's all about planning when you're going to use that ERS, when you're going to launch that attack, and he's happy enough to sit behind Danny for now and maybe just try and close that gap up and set him up for an overtake on that start-finish straight.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's just sort of, I think it was like lifting a little bit toward the end of turn 1, so or the end of the main straight, I mean. But yeah, so I think both him and Mackinder are just trying to save battery for possible attack later on in the race. And Mackinder is right on Justin, by the way, almost under 2/10 the gap was there for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's interesting when you're in the middle of that kind of when you're in the middle of that situation. You got a guy ahead, you're trying to overtake, but the guy behind you is trying to overtake you. It kind of sometimes it forces your hand. You're like, if I don't overtake the guy ahead, this guy behind me is going to get me. Bob and Chad mentioned something really important, I think, is the psychological aspect. It's better to be chasing sometimes than defending. So Mackinder right now is like in a good position that he doesn't have all that pressure, and he can see the two guys ahead that he needs to beat, you know?
Dino has somehow dropped it in Sector 1, by the way, because he lost like 1.2 seconds there, so he's made some sort of a mistake up front, and Danny is only 3/10 away from DRS again.
Yep, Justin 0.7 behind, so he's not going to get a move done this time around. Mackinder 0.5 behind, so yeah, these guys are running very tight. But yeah, if Danny can get that DRS off Tino, that would be huge, but it's tantalizingly close. Must be very tempting just to use all that ERS, but you don't want to empty it all and then not get the DRS and leave yourself vulnerable.
Yeah, and once again, Danny is struggling a little bit through the assist there. So I think Danny is running a little bit less wing than these other guys are somehow less downforce in his setup anyway. Because he lost about 3/10 to Tino and then Justin and Mackinder right on him again toward the end of Sector 1. So yeah, I think there's some curious setup differences there.
Speedy dropping down to P9. Looks like that might have been a mistake from him as he's already dropped DRS range on Copy. Noah as well has extended his lead over Copy, so that P7 looks safe for now. But yeah, up front looks like Tino's got his rhythm back. He's building up that gap again. 1.7 it is.
Yeah, so some sort of a mistake from Tino previous lap in Sector 1 where he lost like 1.2 seconds. But he's back on it again.
Oh,
and
yeah, go ahead.
What I'm curious about is what is this what is the tire wear at, like? So could Danny possibly go to the end? But I think Justin might have a go here on this lap unless Danny decides to deploy something here, or Justin, yeah, he's lifting on the straight and is not really interested in taking that P2 for now.
That's interesting.
Games.
We do have Noah in the pits.
Can Danny get those tires to the end?
Yeah, I'm looking at Noah. He has pitted off those mediums, so he wasn't happy to continue on those mediums for now. And I wonder if that's indicating that maybe these tires are getting the end of their lives. We may see a bunch of guys pitting for soft tires here, but yeah, it's a tough one. We don't have all the information available to us. We don't know what the tire wear is in each of those cars right now.
Yeah, and I kind of bad homework from me. I didn't check what's the tire wear like on the hards, for example. So it would be a 23 lap stint, which I don't know, seems a little excessive. But then again, even if you pit now, you lose like over 20 seconds and have to somehow catch that up. So I don't know. I guess Danny is just sort of waiting what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, might see a move here from Justin. He's 0.2 as we're heading into the final chicane, actually under 0.2. He did use a blip of ERS there heading into the final chicane, and I think he might go for this. He's, yeah, yeah, this is it. This is the one, isn't it? And I don't think Danny can defend this. So it looks like Justin's going to move up to P2 for now, and Danny Co feeds in behind. And that's okay for Danny. I mean, no major loss there. He just needs to finish ahead of McKender.
Yeah, Justin gets a little bit of a slide out of turn 2 there, but manages to hold it quite well. Gap to front 2 seconds to Tino.
Yeah, so Tino is in a race of his own right now. 2 seconds up the road. Pretty huge. I'm wondering though, is Tino, like, if we're going to see pits from these top guys, like Tino might be the first one to make that call, and it might trigger a response from the guys from behind.
Yeah, the mediums are definitely not gonna go to the end, and Danny's hards actually look pretty good right now.
Yeah,
against these mediums.
Huge grip going into that hairpin there. It almost tagged back Justin. But yeah, I think you're right. We might be seeing a crossover phase here for the hard tires.
Yeah, they're definitely better at this stage. And the medium runners will have to pit again. But I think that the really big question is, does Danny have to pit again? I have no idea.
Yeah, and he's running very close. Very, very close. So he might have to actually back off a little bit here, or else he'll find himself tangling up in the final chicane with Justin. He definitely doesn't want that. But look, these three guys, hardly anything between them. And Danny is the first one to pit. The guy that we thought might stay out and go to the end, he's the first one to make the call. That is a bold move from Danny. This could decide the championship right here and right now. This is huge. He puts on the medium tires. And I wonder if the other guys are thinking, you know what, we do have to pit, but we're going to go softs. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. And from what I've heard, the softs are also pretty good around here. But do they have a fresh set of softs on them? That's something I don't know. So I think if you want to go on the softs, it has to be a fresh set.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we know Danny went out initially in quali on medium, so probably does have a fresh set of softs there, but is opted to go safe on the mediums. But the fact that
I think this is the worn set that he's on now.
Oh yes, you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be, because I think the previous stint he was. No. I'm of course wrong, because it's the first time he's on medium, so this is a fresh set.
Oh, he's doing the SHM strat.
Yeah, because I was confused there, sorry. So he's of course on a fresh set of mediums, unless he's for some reason gone on soft tire set, but I don't think so. And he hasn't, because he was on mediums in quali, so yes, he's on a fresh set of mediums. I'll be quiet.
Looking at the pit entry, Justin in the pits, Tino in the pits, McKender stays out.
And that's curious. So he wants to do this overcut strategy that we always see from Jarno Opmer in the esports races, and yeah, I don't know. McKender's gonna have to pull something special out of the back toward the end of the race to catch up. But yeah, let's see. Tino out of the pits, and Danny blasting down the main straight, and he's gonna be just ahead of Justin, but not ahead of Tino.
Okay, but how far ahead of Justin is he? Yeah, let's see, 0.5. So on cold tires as well. That's all right. That works out all right for him. McKender, yeah, he does have something up his sleeve. He has a lot of ERS, and he's not actually using too much of it right now. Maybe on the back straight we'll see him empty some of that out. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on McKender, see if he does indeed pit on this lap, and where he comes out when he does so.
Can Danny catch up to Tino? He's in the DRS window, so Tino was on those cold tires for the first half of the lap here, and he's let Danny catch up to the DRS range, at least for a little bit. That is interesting. That is very interesting, I think. If Danny can hang on to Tino, he's done really well here. Then McKender still doesn't pit. Wow, so I don't really see what he's doing here, but maybe he's playing for a safety car or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Tuj, he is in the pits, so his fellow Mercedes teammate in the pits, and he is putting on a set of softs. So there we go. It's Eagle Ghost and Tuj on these softs. McKender yet to pit. Danny Co setting the fastest lap of the session, which is an ominous sign from him. And Speedy picks up
right on Tino as well there, and could they possibly drop Justin from DRS at this rate? I don't think so, but let's see. Justin is very low on ERS though, so let's see what Tino and Danny choose to do here on this lap. And once again, Danny is struggling a little bit through the S's here, and drives away, and Justin catches up to him.
Yeah, this is getting tense. I can barely contain my excitement right now.
But Danny is of course in the best position here because McKender, when he pits, will be, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds behind these guys.
Yeah, this may well come down to the last lap. I mean, it's definitely come down to the last race, but everything is on the table right now.
Yeah, Danny of course in the best position, I think, because I just don't see how McKender could rise from that overcut he's trying to do. But let's see what he chooses to do. Maybe he'll just commit to waiting for a safety car. Does he still pit? He still doesn't pit, so I think this is like the only card McKender has to play here at this stage is that there's a safety car in the next, let's say, 2 laps or something, because otherwise those guys are too close to him anyway, and they will overtake him regardless of saving that time under the for pitting under the safety car.
I have to say though, I mean, McKender hasn't lost that much time to Tino. I expected.
Danny is actually gonna have to overtake Tino here because Tino didn't get the best of exits out of the final corner. So Danny up to P2.
There you go. I wasn't expecting that. So Danny Co up to P2, and like I say, McKender is not dropping that much time. He is on these much older mediums, but starting to see a wee bit of a drop off now. But I think this will.
Yeah, he's gonna be like 6 seconds behind these runners after his pit stop, and I just don't see he's gonna be able to close that back up.
It's gonna be like a second a lap. He's gonna have to catch up roughly. It's a
and then overtake as well. So I just don't see that happening. So I think this is basically a gamble for a safety car. If it doesn't play out for him, then he's out of the championship fight against Danny anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. And I think what Tino is doing here now is he's just playing for the race win basically. He's charging his ERS up. Justin is actually really close to Tino here, by the way, but
McKender in the pits. So he does decide to pit on that lap. Interesting, he didn't use that much ERS.
Have to, right? So
yeah, he's kind of forced his hand.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
Well, he doesn't like those softs at all, I guess. So chooses to take that medium set under him, and then the front 3 blasting down the main straight ahead of McKender, and McKender going 80 kph in the pit lane, and he's gonna be about 4 or 5 seconds behind these guys, I think.
Yep, you called it exactly right. Almost 6 seconds exactly. Ice.
Yep.
Between McKender and Justin, so we will keep an eye on that. Those fresher tires obviously give him a bit of an advantage, but yeah, that 5.4, that's a big deficit to equalize. And we've got a migrating
host.
That means.
Oh, did Danny disconnect?
Oh my word! Oh my word! This is huge.
Did Danny disconnect? It cannot be true if he did. Is he?
Oh my god.
I still see him online, but he is offline, so...
Yeah,
oh my god, this cannot go like this, man.
Oh my god, this would be the worst way to end this.
And I can't seem to... How do I invite him either? So where is Danny? Where's Danny? I've sent him an invite at least, but this is just massive heartbreak, man. Like... And is he back in the car?
No, he's not back in. We're still getting the migrating host thing as well, which is worrying.
Is the lobby break now? Oh my god.
Usually that figures itself out, but if it's still showing the migrating host message, that might indicate there is an issue. Oh, Danny looks like he might be in the car actually. It is now no longer ghosted, and he's staying ahead of Justin.
Yeah, but Dino is like 1.3 seconds. I'm not sure what's going on here right now. Did the lobby like break or what happened?
Yeah.
So I can't believe this is happening. I'm just gonna check what's happening in Discord. So sorry. Quickly to see if there's some kind of chatter.
Okay, we
Danny
crashed, yes, and can't connect to EA servers is what I'm getting on chat here.
Yeah, and I think Justin also got booted. So there's oh my god, this is not the way I wanted this to play out, to be honest. So
yeah,
and now my result tower is completely haywire also. So I think this lobby is a goner.
Yeah, the standings have broken.
Oh my word.
Oh my god, this is terrible. Justin as well saying he can't do anything. So it looks like everybody's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the lobby is just gone because it's showing now that Copy is leading the race from Dino, which is obviously not true. Yeah, I guess we'll have to figure out what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen now?
Yeah, I mean, like, just speaking out loud, typically what happens is we take it from when the lobby broke. Usually that's what happens, but yeah, this is crazy. I mean, what a nasty way to end this season.
Oh, it's not good. I think if I understand our rules correctly, this would make Danny the champion, basically, from what I understand anyway. But if we have to go by the let's say aborted race results from lap 20 or whatever it was when this whole thing started, but what a I'm sorry to say this shitty way to end it, but
oh dear, yeah, it's definitely broken. Yeah,
this sucks. This is horrendous. Oh, well, I think in chat Mackinder also saying that I think the lobby is broken anyway, and yeah, not really much else to say, I guess.
Instant depression, man. Instant.
Yeah, what a bad way to finish the season.
It was just it was gonna be too perfect, wasn't it? It was all leading up to the last lap, and here we are, broken lobby.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So it's some sort of an error on the EA servers that the game is hosted on. Nothing we can do about it, unfortunately, but of course, very, very, very unfortunate, and not the finish that we would have wanted for this season.
Yeah, and I'm sure even Danny, I'm sure he's glad that he's provisionally won the title, but I'm sure he doesn't want to win it this way.
And I think I'm not. The laps are not even completing now, because if I'm looking at Dino, his lap time is at 4:45 for me. So
yeah, McKender's
I think this lobby is done for.
Yeah, it looks like it. So to everybody watching, we can only apologize. It's out of our hands. We can't do anything about this. We are sorry you've been denied the finale that we were all hyped up about, but that's the way it is.
Absolutely brilliant.
McKender takes a it's not even point commentating. It's not even McKender driving it.
No. I think we'll just have to end here, I guess.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's such horrendous luck. But I guess what this means, as far as I understand, that Danny is the champion of this season.
Yeah, and hopefully
I guess we'll have to wait for the official confirmation from the admin team what they decide to do. But as I understand the rules, we're well past the 50% lap count, so I think we'll have to take the results from the first or the last how do you say it, determinable position, I guess.
Speedy says restart.
Yeah.
I mean, like first thing that went through my head was
I'd be up for it, but I just don't know if this long into the race.
Yeah.
But Yeah. I guess we can have a discussion, but at this point it looks like the season has concluded in a very anticlimactic way.
Yeah, Tino saying you're
very Codemasters way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They couldn't just let us have one race.
No.
Yeah, Tino saying to Danny, you were gonna win anyway. Not gonna lie, I would have got you, but McKenna was like what 6 seconds back, and that's kind of what we were saying on stream. But we will never know. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Codemasters decides it wants to break the game, and we can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But yeah, so hopefully we can have a wee chat with Danny once he gets his stuff together.
Yep.
But yeah, you can hear the disappointment in my voice. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, it's such a crappy way to end this season, and it was also a pretty interesting race until then. So, yeah, Danny, I think was poised to win the championship anyway. But as you know, it's racing, and a lot can happen in 6 or 7 laps or whatever there was left at that point. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just as well.
But hey, Tilde is winning the race at the moment, according to the game anyway. So.
He's probably still in the race, like the only guy. Like we had a race before where the lobby broke, and Bob was the only one left in the lobby. Everyone else got kicked out. He was loving life. He was winning that race, but we had to break it to him in VC. It's broken, Bob. Retire the car.
Yeah.
Well. I don't see anybody wanting interviews right now. I'm gonna bring in Speedy just for a laugh, and yeah, have a wee chat with Speedy. I know you probably didn't want to have an interview, but I just want to.
Hang on, you're coming from my speakers. One moment.
Okay.
Hello there.
Yeah, so Speedy, we obviously not the end of the race that we wanted to see. I mean, what happened from your point of view there?
Just migrating host. It seemed fine for a while, and then everyone just sort of went to AI and started ghosting. So I just left the lobby.
Yeah, and how was the race for you? Obviously, we saw you struggling a bit in quali. Was it lack of practice or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a lap in. Exit a spoon, screwed me over twice. And then on the last run, I missed the line by half a second. Yeah, and then I just kind of got screwed over by the safety car, which I half caused. I didn't cause it, but I made Eagle jump out of the way, which then made him go wide. He rejoined and then collided with was it Riak, I think. So and then he crashed into the wall, which caused the safety car. Yeah, no. I picked up the pace. I was happy with my pace in the second half of the race, but by that point it was a bit too late.
Yeah, and we were saying in the race, you know, obviously you're a previous Tier 1 champion, and back in the day you were very dominant, and I was saying I would very much like to see you, you know, come back and, you know, bit of practice and see if you can get back up to those lofty heights. But I mean, you saw how like that race ended. It's probably not inspiring you to put much practice into this game.
Yeah, no, I don't have the time for that nowadays. My heyday is come and gone, which is I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm down to take a Tier 1 seat next season. It just kind of depends on the calendar for me, and depends on my commitments and stuff. Because I have a few weeks off in March, so I won't be able to race then. But it depends. But
yeah.
Maybe. I'm not going to be competing for the front. Just going to be competing for, you know, chief. You know, P10, P8, P9, that sort of thing. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, the coveted P10. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. Well. I mean, it was great to see you on track again. It has to be said. I have a lot of good memories of you on track, and it's always good to see you show up for a race or two, as you have done this season. Yeah, there's not much else to be said, really, is there? I mean, you know, we saw you battling with Copy a little bit in the race. Well,
Copy would make a mistake, and then I'd make a mistake just as I overtake him, and then he'd make a mistake. It was quite comical, to be honest. So, are we going to take the results from the last lap, or are we?
I mean, Tilde is about to win the race right now. He's coming across the line, and there he is. Yeah. I guess that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, just
What, just take the results from the last lap?
yeah. I guess I'm not in the admin team anymore, so I think that they will have to do the call. But I think that's the rule, so we'll have to look at it from the last determinable position, which I guess is lap 20 or 21 or whatever it was. But yeah.
Yep.
Alright, Speedy. Well, thanks anyway. I know I just yoinked you in there without any warning, but appreciate you spending some time with us as
That's
we
okay,
try
Chief.
to make sense of what happened there. But yeah, we will speak soon.
I'll speak to you later on for some, you know
Yeah, man.
what's going on.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Bye bye. And yeah, so we've got Danny is going to come in for an interview. He's probably just trying to make sense as well what just happened there. Let's bring him in. He's there. Danny.
FBI, open up!
Hello, Dan the man. I know that it's not how you wanted to win this championship, but you did win the championship today, and it has to be said, even though it ended the way it did, it looked like you were going to win the championship anyway. We'll obviously never find out what happened at the end of that race, but congrats. How do you feel? Hello?
In a way, yeah. I wanted to play out the race, truthfully.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see what would happen in the last few laps. Because I had less swing than Tino. I couldn't really compare myself to Justin, truthfully. I think we were marginally close, me and Justin, to be honest. So I think maybe if I could have got a good exit out the last corner or something, I could maybe have kept Tino behind. But sorry, you never know now.
Yeah, that's it. We will never know. But I mean, it's out of your hands. It's not like you had any play in that lobby break-in. It's just one of those things. So you won the championship fair and square. I don't think anything can be taken away from some of the results you've had this season, and you're very much deserved champion this season. I don't think you want to let how that race ended there have any play in how much you deserve this championship. So congrats. I was saying on stream, me and Bob have been calling most of the races this season, and there's been some really great racing in Tier 1 this season, that has to be said. Yeah, I guess one question I do want to ask is, what has been your best memory of the season and your worst? I think I might know what your worst one is.
The worst was has to be Saudi.
Yeah.
Right now. Best. Oh, that's a tough question. Which race was it? Where? Let me go to. There was two results. There was a race. I won. Oh, Hungary. That was the one. I'd say that's probably been my best race. In the wet, just kept it on the road.
Yeah.
And just had the pace to control the race. Truthfully, that's what I felt like I did. But besides that, there's been quite a few fun battles along the season that I can't remember at the minute. Won't lie.
Yeah, it all becomes a bit of a blur, but yeah, I have recollection of a lot of great racing this season. A lot of those, a lot of like racing did include yourself. Just from memory, you did win Hungary. What other races did you win this season?
So
'Cause
I won Imola.
Yeah.
And then Hungary and Brazil.
Not bad, not bad. And when you look at the lineup as well, like you're up against Justin McKender and Tino or Tina whenever he shows up.
Adesi.
Adesi, yeah. Tenari won the first race of the season. Kind of dropped off after that, but yeah. a lot of killers in there, and Speedy as well, the ex-champ, joining us on track today. He was P1 at one point after that first safety car.
Yeah.
Some hairy moments there as you guys try to navigate Speedy and the Eagle and the S's.
True.
I guess one question, we were heading into the start of the race. We were wondering what strats people are going to go for. You went for that soft strategy. So if there was no safety cars, what was the thinking on the strat? Was it soft hards then or soft mediums?
Half medium.
Yeah. And
Half medium.
I think you went for the soft, thinking I need to get a good start, get a few positions here, get on the back of Tino, and hopefully things will work out for me.
Uh, no, compared to the others, it was always going to be either soft or mediums, truthfully.
Yeah.
It was never the hards, because I didn't really try them. And from what I've seen, the hards are not a good starting tyre. So I just wanted to basically avoid them a bit like the plague. But then I saw everyone else on them, and I got to P2,
Yeah.
but then I couldn't drop
I
the
just
half
yeah.
like Tino did, because he had the lap 1 where I had to wait till start of lap 2 to get to P2. But by then, Tsunami at the time was just glued to me. I think if I could do that race again, I'd probably up my wings a tad bit, because I was losing time in sector 1.
Yeah, Icewind called that on stream actually, I have to say.
Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah,
the other question is, the first safety car came out, I think it was lap 3 or 4. Obviously,
4.
that was a bit early for you guys, but Tino pitted. Were you thinking already, I'm going to pit this lap, or were you thinking I might stay out?
No, I was going to pit. I couldn't stay out on softs, truthfully. I
Yeah.
was already on 20% wear, so it would have just been downhill battle. So yeah, as well, I was gonna go to hards, because in my mind I was thinking maybe try go to the end.
Yeah.
So when I saw everyone go to mediums, I was like, oh, well then, I am in trouble here.
Yeah, but you were one of the first guys of the league guys to pit. So what was behind that decision?
That hards had a chance going to the end from there,
Yeah,
truthfully.
yeah. But I
Well,
mean, whenever you pitted the second time though, you pitted. You were one of the first guys out of the front runners to pit, and
I
we were thinking you might
that
go to the end on those hards, and then next thing you were the first one to pit.
yeah, in a way, I realised 5 laps into the hard running, like, he's probably not going to make it now. So I was like, earliest I could pit is lap 15, probably optimal is 16, 17. And he got to 15, no one had pitted. I was like, okay. I noticed their tyres started to kind of drop off, so I was like, so I need around 10 laps on the mediums.
Yeah.
So I went, lap 16, if Justin or Tino don't go in front of me, I will go. And none of them did, so I went, fuck it. I went, yeet, and went.
Final question for you. Did you have a crew chief in your chat? You know who I'm talking
Uh,
about?
I didn't.
Oh no.
I didn't today.
Oh no. Every time I look in your chat, I just see him like typing furiously, like loads of crew chiefing type stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's dedication, man.
Yeah, he's a real one for it. But
Yeah,
he had something to do today, so he wasn't there.
yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll be glad to hear what happened. But yeah, Danny, I don't know if anything you want to say. I know you're tier 1 manager and you've done a great job this season.
I'm expecting the third championship with the uh, hardware upgrade we have lined up for you.
Yeah, who we will have to see. Um,
Yeah, well, anyway, I just wanted to say congrats, Danny. I think that was a deserved championship, and it looked like I think you had it in the bag, even if it finished a bit, you know,
Crappy.
Cody special once again. But it is what it is, I guess. So
Yeah. It's been a weird season, truthfully.
Hmm.
I mean, it started a bit rocky with Australia getting the game disconnect while running top 5 in the pen. Saudi, of course, just driving into a safety car. Then Vegas having a major skill issue while running P1 under the safety car. And then the second half of the season was better, truthfully. Only Mexico was a real downer, to be honest. But yeah, I think
Yeah, I
anyone
think that
deserves to win it.
consistency at the second half of the season was the key, because you had five podiums in a row, I think. So
Yes,
Yeah.
5. I think anyone deserved to win that championship, truthfully. From me, McKenna, Justin, Desi, to Tino, if he had shown up during the season, but you know, skill issue and that. But yeah, I'd like to thank all the drivers for the season. But like, wouldn't be possible from them. The admin team behind the scenes, commentators, used to, Tipsy, Babs,
Yep.
Punk, Joel, all them, and the FIA for another season.
Yep, and we now enter a much needed break, Danny, so I'll let you go and enjoy that. And we will speak soon, but it's been a complete pleasure. Yeah, thanks to you as well for managing the tier. Always doing a great job at tier 1 and getting the top drivers in. And yeah, paid off this season with some great battles out there on track and on stream. So yeah, Danny, congrats again. Title is yours for the second time. And I'm sure we'll all be tuning in to see if you can get a third one next season. That back-to-back title has not been done yet, Danny. I'm just saying.
Oh god. We'll see.
But yeah, take a break, bro. You deserve it.
Okay, we'll do.
Right, speak later.
Bye.
Right. So that's it. I was playing the national anthem of UK in the background there. God save the king. Indeed. Ice, it's been a pleasure doing comms with you finally. It's been a while.
yeah, shame it had to end like this, but you know,
Yeah.
I guess had to get one proper Codemasters moment for this season as well.
Yeah, it's always lurking in the background, isn't it? That Codemasters moment. We've had a few actually this season, but none as big as
I
that
guess
in
so.
Tier 1. That was
Yeah.
the cherry on the cake. So Codemasters. I don't know what the opposite of driver of the day is, but they definitely get that award, whatever it is, the wooden spin of the day or whatever. But yeah, Japan, great track, great season. We've had 3 tiers. I think it's 11 rounds this season, so 33 races under our belt.
Yeah.
But as I say, we're heading into the break time. Any drivers out there are wondering when the next season is, we will tell you soon enough. Please don't ask us in chat. We need a break. We need some downtime to recuperate and recharge and get ready to go back at it again. But yeah, no racing for a couple of weeks. But we will be back soon enough, I'm sure, and we'll get back to the action. So yeah, it's been a pleasure doing the comms for Tier 1. Shout out to Tipsy Bob in chat there for doing the commentary for most of the season with me, and to all the fellow commentators who graced the comms for the rest of the tiers. We couldn't do it without you. FIA guys have been instrumental as well. And yeah, all our viewers, all our subscribers, we love you all. But that's it for SLR for now.
Yeah, I just wanted to say at the end, like, I think we'll still choose a driver of the day, and I think it has to be one driver. It has to be Danny.
Yeah.
And my, of course, he wins the championship, but I think he was also driving the strategy the whole race and being the active guy trying to win that championship. So I think it's a deserved win, regardless of how the race ended. So I think Danny has to be the driver of the day and the driver of the season, I guess, to an extent. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, driver awards. Hopefully that'll be a thing this season.
Yeah.
It's always a fun thing. So look out for that in Discord. All our links and all our social media are down in the video description. So if you want to find out more about the league and sign up, please do so. You just click through the link there. But that's it for now for us from SLR. We'll be back in a few weeks. Until then, stay safe and we will speak soon. Bye now.
Bye bye.